Last question, and this is one that's on a lot of people's minds. I would not have picked this question in talking about my series on heaven, but so many people asked, I felt compelled like I needed to give an answer out there for this, and that's the question, will there be animals in heaven? Pet lovers are asking the question, will there be animals in heaven? And the short answer to this one is, dogs yes, cats no. I have a small child yelling liar in the front row. Okay, that was just a joke for all the disturbed children that are there. Okay, here's the real answer. It's good to have fun in church. Okay, so real biblical answer is this. Animals do not have eternal spirits. Animals on earth do not have eternal spirits. There is this passage in early Genesis where it talks about when animals were created. Human beings were created differently than all of the animals in that we were created in God's image. And what that means to be created in God's image is that we are sentient beings. We have self-awareness and the ability to self-reflect. We can sit on the edge of our beds at the end of the day and think about our lives and what is the meaning to our life and did I make good choices today and would I change my choices tomorrow? Animals do not have the capacity for that type of self-awareness or self-reflection. Human beings can think in abstractions. They can discover the mysteries of the universe. They can know God. Animals can't. And human beings live for eternity as eternal beings, and animals don't. So, if you ask whether Fluffy has an eternal soul, the answer is no, especially if Fluffy's a cat. But despite this, I think that there are reasons to be hopeful for animals in heaven. Reasons to be hopeful. Number one, God is an amazingly creative being. Amazingly creative being. He takes huge delight in making all kinds of things. And here on planet Earth, we look around, we've got dragonflies, we've got platypus, we've got towering sequoia trees and microscopic plankton. You've got places in deep trenches of the ocean that no light can get to and no human or animal will ever see. And yet when they discover the animals that are in these deep trenches, they're beautiful and diverse and very colorful. And you wonder, why did God do that? And I think it's just because God's a creative God and He loves to display His creative power. You read the book of Job and it's filled with passages that talk about God's delight in the different kinds of animals that He has created. And if all of this exists on planet Earth, how much more won't God do that in heaven? How much more diversity of life will exist and how much more will animals bring delight to the soul and showcase God's power and creativity? Further, there's a connection between love and good things that are experienced on earth and what's going to be experienced in heaven. Animals can surely be loved, and in fact, you could create illustrations of God's love for us and our love for animals. And if that's the case, and if earth is a shadow of what's going to be happening in heaven, then why is it not possible that animals could exist, certainly in heaven, and that God's creative power could extend to the heavenly realms? Next, and I think most importantly, in Romans chapter 8, it talks about how all of creation yearns to be redeemed. That in the end, it's not just going to be people who are being redeemed, but the entire planet is going to be redeemed by God. And all of the pollution and grossness and evil that's been inflicted on our planet will be redeemed. And you think even like rocks and dirt and stuff will be redeemed. Plants and bushes and trees will be redeemed. Well, certainly won't animals be redeemed if all of creation is going to be redeemed by God. When God remakes this planet into the new heavens and the new earth, He'll take all the forms of this world and reclaim them and remake them into something much better. And finally, if heaven is a place where God delights in our delight, and He knows that Scrappy from good old planet Earth brings you joy, then it just may be, that God recreates Scrappy for your enjoyment and companionship. Only a better version of Scrappy, the non-shedding, hypoallergenic, non-drooling, non-jumping, and non-pooping version of Scrappy. And in heaven, every dog catches a Frisbee. Just wanted to throw that in.